Hi my sewing lovers, welcome to my channel. My name is Johanna. Today on the channel I'll be showing you how to draft this simple bow dress. It's very elegant, and for my own dress I would like to use the blue dress for the top part and the pink dress for the bottom part. And for the back I would have an invisible zip and darts. And these are the measurements I'll be using for this tutorial. Let's get to it. So the first thing I did was to draw a perpendicular line, that is the line that would serve as my shoulder line and my center front line. Then I placed all my horizontal measurement, that is chest line, bust line, under bust line and waist line. And to get your chest line, you will calculate bust divided by 6 plus 1.5 and also add 1 inch for your shoulder slope. Then you would place that measurement on your pattern paper from your shoulder. Next, on your shoulder line, you divide your shoulder measurement by 2 and mark it on your shoulder line and on your chest line. Then you use your straight ruler and connect those dots. Then on your shoulder line again, you determine what you want your neckline to be. For this pattern, I want my neckline to be 3 inches wide, and for the depth, I want it to be 2.5. Then I'll draw a simple round neckline. Perfect. So from that shoulder line again, I'll go down by 1 inch. Right there, I am determining my shoulder slope. So now I've created a shoulder slope for my shoulder. And on my chest line, I marked my bust divided by 4. And also on my shoulder line again, I determined my midpoint of that shoulder line and marked. And from that midpoint, I'll go out by 0.5 inches and mark. And I'll connect from the shoulder slope to the midpoint and to that bust circumference. Then I create that perfect armhole curve. Next, I will divide my nipple to nipple measurement by 2, which I have 3.75. I mark that on my bust line, my under bust line and on my waistline. Then I would mark and connect that with a straight ruler. Then for my chest line, I would go down by 1 inch and mark, then connect it with that line. And from that armhole midpoint, I will join that to that nipple to nipple line. And right here, I'm creating a princess seam bustier. Like what we have on the dress, we have a princess seam bustier. It can be a bustier, it doesn't have to be that contoured, but for this pattern and for this tutorial, I want my own to be very contoured. I like the way bustiers sit on my body, and I love the way it contours my bust. So if you want a contoured one, you can follow this tutorial. If you don't want a contoured one, you can just draw the seam line and that's it. So I came down by 1.5 and I connected back to that nipple to nipple line. And make sure that you use your front curve to give it a very nice curve, and make sure that your bust circle is not sharp. Then that 1.5, I would mark it up from that second line. I will also mark it at my chest line. So on the underbust line, from that nipple line, I would mark 2 inches, and also on the waistline, I would mark 2 inches. Then I'll use my ruler to connect a straight line. Then I will take my curve ruler and connect a curve from that second line to that nipple line. So I'll just insert my horizontal measurement and I add my seam allowance, and on my waist I also insert my waist divided by 4, and I would replace that 2 inches we used for the dart, and I would add my 2 cm seam allowance. Then I'll connect that line from the bust to the waist. Very easy, guys. To create that design we have at the front of the dress, we're going to go out by 1/2 inch from the neckline, the chest line, all the way to the underbust line. Then from the waistline, I'll go up by 1 inch. Then I'll square that line. Then on top of that line, I would go out by 1.5 inches. Then from that 1/2 inch we marked earlier, I would use my front curve to give it a very nice curve from that underbust to the 1.5 inch. So from that 1/2 inch to the 1.5 inch, just as you can see in the picture. So I'm creating that front cutout. So if you want your own to be very exposed, if you want it to be like 1 inch from the neckline to the underbust line, you can do that, but I think this is perfect for me. So this is where I'm going to add the bows to, the top of the neck, between the chest line and on the underbust line. So right here I would add my seam allowance of 1.5 inch on the bottom of the pattern, and on the fabric I would add the other seam allowance, and we are good to go. Also, don't forget to add your notches. Right here, I'll be closing my bust dart of 1.5 inches and close it with my tape measure. So our dart is 1.5 inches and our front length is 17 inches. So 17 minus 1.5 is 15.5. So our back length would be 15.5. That is the math you have to do. So the math is that your front length minus the bust dart would give you your back length. So I'm just withdrawing the side seam. So we are done with our front pattern. Then moving to our back pattern, I would mark my vertical measurement. That is my shoulder to chest line, which is 8.5 inches, my shoulder to bust line, which is 10.5 inches, then my shoulder to waistline, which is 15.5 inches. I guess you know how we got it. So yeah, we don't need our bust on the bust line. We don't need our under bust line for the back pattern. So I'll just square out those lines and we can start drafting. So right here, I would be removing the zip bulge at the center back of my pattern. I'll be removing 0.5 inches and I'll connect that to the neckline down to the waistline. When you use this method, you would not have that excess fabric that doesn't look nice at the back of your pattern. Then I would be inserting my nipple to nipple measurements to create my darts. So my darts will be 1 inch wide, 0.5, 0.5 at each side. Then I would connect that. Then I can insert my horizontal measurements and also insert your seam allowance. And for your waist, you insert your waist measurement divided by 4 and also your dart intake plus your seam allowance, and you are good to go. That is it. So I would bring in my front pattern and show you that it does match. Can you see it's matching? Yes, when I add my seam allowance, you would see everything would match. So right here, we're done with our top pattern, that is our front and back borders. So the SA means where you're going to add seam allowance, your zipper allowance, and that is it. So right here, I would be drafting the sleeves. So I have a tutorial on how to draft a basic sleeve, and you can check it out if you don't know how to draft a basic sleeve. So I place my basic sleeve on the fresh pattern paper, and also don't forget the length you're going to use. And for this tutorial, I'll be using 11 inches for the length. So I already marked it out. Yes, 11 inches for the length. I traced that sleeve out. So to give your sleeve that puffy and that volume, you need to divide your sleeve into different sections. So we're going to divide our sleeve into different sections. You can divide it into 3, 4, 6. I think I did about 6. Yes, I did about 6. The more you divide your sleeves, the more volume you get and the more puff or puffy you get. And from this design we have here, you can see that the sleeve is very puffy. So I'll just arrange my sleeve. To spread it as much as I can, so I spread it about 2.5 inches from one sleeve section to the other. And also for the sleeve edge, I went up by 3 inches. Now you see that from where the sleeve edge was, I did not draw it from where the sleeve edge was. I came up by 3 inches to give that room, that puffiness and that volume. Right here, I'm just drafting a basic skirt with slits, and it's very easy, guys. I have a tutorial on how to draft a skirt. I would link it in the description box or on the comment section. You can check it out. It's very detailed and very beginners friendly. So please do check it out and give me a thumbs up if you haven't. And please like, please comment, and don't forget to subscribe.